quick disclaimer just before we begin, the footage in this video is very old footage. I'm really not feeling too great today, so I didn't really feel like getting on and destroying my head. So just bear that in mind, it is old footage, certainly not newly recorded. I hope you enjoy the video. Hi there teammates, so today we're going to be doing, as I always say, a bit of a different video. We're just going to be talking about the problem with Rocket Arena and sort of where the game in general goes from here. If this isn't the sort of thing you guys want to obviously watch, I don't blame you. It's just going to be me kind of talking, maybe ranting a bit, and I again apologise for any background noise. My son's a little bit poorly today, I'm a little bit poorly, hopefully not coronavirus, so bear with me if I sound a bit ill. So, Rocket Arena, so when did I first sort of learn about it? So just over a year ago, I saw a video by Mr. Fruit, where he was playing on a much earlier build of the game, and initially I thought it was extremely eye-catching. Like this game, it was almost like the Overwatch aesthetic mixed with a more competitive sort of 3v3 smaller game modes. Obviously Overwatch is massively competitive, so I'm not saying that that's not, I'm just saying it's, with it being the smaller teams, it's one of them things where your individual skills kind of matter more, whereas on something like Overwatch, if one player on your team isn't doing too well, there is still a good chance that the other players can do well. So anyway, I saw it and immediately started researching, following the game from there. Then on sort of July of 2020, so this year, the game sort of came out. And I was super excited. However, it now cost 30 quid, £29, whatever. Was I a bit annoyed? Yeah, because initially it was meant to be free to play. There was all these reports of this new free to play competitive arena shooter thing. And that is what really grabs attention. When it's a new free to play game, anyone could play it. You know, essentially, you could release it and you could have a Fortnite on your hands. You know, Fortnite absolutely blew up out of nowhere, and it was mainly because it was free to play, and now look how much money we're earning. So when I sort of, like I say, saw the game was now costing money, I didn't personally have an issue, but I know people do have an issue with that, and you know, it's understandable. If it was going to be free to play and then suddenly you want 30 quid, that's a bit annoying. But anyway, it got released, £30, and the reviews overall were pretty positive. So there was stuff like a 7 out of 10 sort of average ratings on Steam. From just general Google user reviews, is a 93%, and PC Gamer gave it a 78% overall. So very, you know, very positive. It's not like it's a bad game, and it's not. It's honestly, it's one of the most fun games I have played in the past 5 to 10 years of my life. The last time I had this much fun playing a game was probably Overwatch. Overwatch obviously had its issues, and I always draw back to it, but Overwatch was one of them games that really got me into competitive online sort of multiplayer games, and this makes me feel the same. So what are the issues? Why isn't it doing too well? Well, to start off with, there was honestly barely any coverage of the game on YouTube or sponsorships or anything. I didn't see this game sponsored once. You guys, you know, I know there's going to be someone that says I saw it sponsored 28 times in a row, but I personally never saw this game sponsored one time on YouTube, and the only way, like I say, I knew about it was because of that one video that I happened to stumble upon by Mr. Fruit. Going on from there, you've then got to look at kind of a player base. So Steam's overall peak of this game is, and this is, look, it's pretty embarrassing, it's only 1,102 players. That's for peak. That's for most people that have ever played this game at one time on Steam. And I get consoles are more than likely to have more people playing than on PC, because it is, kind of feels more like a console game. That's hard to describe, but yeah, only 1,102 players. I mean, it's not awful on its peak, but that ain't great either. I haven't got the numbers of what other games have done in the first couple of weeks, but I guarantee they smashed that record. And as of 7:30 in the afternoon, in the UK, and this is on a Sunday, so the Sunday just gone, there was 280 viewers on Twitch. And I get Twitch numbers aren't precise, people watching a game doesn't mean that's how many people are playing or anything like that. But if you compare that 280 viewers to Battlefield 5, that when I was watching had 350 viewers, that, Battlefield 5 was a game that got widely hated on. They come out of this Battle Royale mode that a lot of people didn't like, and yet it still, years after release, had 300 viewers. I find that interesting, to say the least. I know the Battlefield name is a lot bigger than, Rocket Arena, but still, Rocket Arena is, 2 to 3 weeks old? It's weird. And then, to follow on from about 2 weeks after the initial release of this game, it's on sale. It's on sale for like £4.99 in the UK. And they're giving away free weekends. They're throwing codes at people for the game like there's no tomorrow. It's like, oh, you have a code, you have a code. They went all Oprah on it and was just giving everyone codes. And that's great, but that also leads you to think that they're not maybe doing so well. I mean, yeah, it's great that they're being so generous, but we know from gaming companies that if this has come out and it had smashed records, they wouldn't be giving it away for free. They'd be making people buy it more and more because they knew they'd get the money. But yeah, 2 weeks after release, for it to be on sale for so little is a bit weird. And now it's also free, as far as I'm aware, on the Origin Pass or whatever it is, and EA Access as well, which is great. That should have been sort of there from the start, really. But what can I say? So what happened? What happened in general that made this game so not bad, but so uninteresting to people? Well, the first issue, as I pointed out before, was for just zero promotion. How can you expect people to be interested in a game that they don't even know exists? That's like when they release a film, just no advertiser. You walk into a cinema and, oh look, there's a brand new film. You're not going to choose that brand new film over a film that you've seen hyped up for weeks. Now imagine walking into a cinema and seeing a new Marvel film that you know all about, and then seeing, film A that no one's ever heard of. Which one are you going to pick? It's simple. And then also the issues of suddenly going paid instead of free to play, but keeping the free to play look. I'll probably put some stuff on screen now, if I'm feeling sort of well enough to be able to hop on properly, but the menus of the game are just not great in the look of it overall. Another huge issue, and for me probably the biggest issue, is the basics of the game just aren't there. It's like, how do I explain it? It's like having toast without butter on. It's fine, you're going to eat that toast, but, it's going to be dry. After a while, you're maybe not going to want to have any more slices. It's just not, is it worth making that toast in the first place? That's what you got to think. And that's what this game is. Is this game worth buying in the first place? If, you might have fun for a few hours, but when you start to really look at the game, as much as I love it, there are so many little issues that lead to one big ball of just Rocket Arena shaped mess. For starters, like I've said in previous videos, the settings. I can't find the exact article or whatever, but I heard before this game came out they was really going to try and work on maximum, settings options, stuff like this. And I'm not expecting The Last of Us 2 in terms of the amount of settings and options and stuff like that, because that game is immense for that sort of thing. But the fact that I can't, and I will say this every video, I will absolutely say this every video because it should be in every single game. The fact that I cannot go into my settings and if I want custom bind, any button I want is ludicrous. Because as I've said before, I struggle so much with this game. I'm starting to get used to it now, but this is after like hundreds of hours of playing and mucking around. I'm finally starting to get used to the fact that I can jump with cross and my hand's starting to get used to it. But because of my disability, as I say all the time, I struggle immensely with with jumping with the X button. I need it on my right analog stick, and the fact that that isn't an option, it's available on the left, but I should be able to set up custom bindings to whatever I want. You know, if I want to shoot with my down on the D-pad and move with my right and, you know, if I want to mess it up like that, let me do it. It shouldn't be hard. But why am I limited to 6 to 8 different settings where in reality none of them are what I want? And that immediately, a lot of days, and I'll be honest with you, I only really fully play this game maybe 3 days a week, and that's because I physically cannot the rest of the days. If my hands can't actually do what I want them to do, then I'm not going to be any good at the game, and so I just don't play it. And that's a shame, because I would play this game, well, into the 3 a.m. in the morning if I could. The other basics that aren't there are the look of the game. Not while you're playing a game, because it looks really good. It's a very cartoony art style that we're all kind of used to now, and I like that. It makes it simple. But you go into the menus or just the load up screen, and it looks like an early access free to play game. And I can't be the only one that thinks this, surely. You know, I go onto the game and the menu opens, and so when you're on the menus, you see, you know, a fairly limited screen. I mean, no, I'm going to go into the menus now, and I'm going to show you guys what I mean. So this is what I mean about the look of the game. You start with the game, you have your loading screen, and it looks pretty cool. You know, you've got your maps on there. It comes up standard sort of starting screen, nothing up with this. However, you go from this kind of colourful, vibrant, interesting look, and then suddenly you think, yeah, this is a really cool looking game.
Welcome to Rocket Arena. Press the square button for accessibility options.
I don't quite know how to explain how I feel, but shoving a few characters in the background moving around doesn't make your loading screens enticing or interesting. This is your home screen. This is it. You've got 4 things on your home screen. You've obviously got your play now, which will just shove you in anything. You've got news. You got your challenges, and don't even start on that. And then you go straight to your blast pass. What? I can't be the only one that looks at this and thinks this is like a pre-alpha build of a menu screen. I can't be the only one. You come on here, right, so the play now thing is whatever, you know, a little bit animated, that's cool. Then you go on news. Why isn't this, you know, look at this. This looks 10 times better. The news section alone looks like it's had 50% more effort put in than any other part of these menus. You come in and they're all different shapes and colours and things popping out at you and information. Put that, I haven't got a curse. Put it on this empty bit of the screen where these people are jumping in. I don't care about Amphora doing a backflip. You know, go away. Put the news there. So I can come straight on, and if there's any new stuff going on, I don't have to necessarily go in here and have a look. You know, why can't you each day just put in a new bit of information, stick it on the right hand side of the screen? I'd much rather look at it. I'll tell you that now. And the challenges. It genuinely makes... This makes me laugh, okay? I haven't got images of Fortnite challenges or Apex challenges. You know, Apex screens aren't the greatest, but Fortnite and Apex at least have all these different variety of challenges. These challenges, you click in here, look at that. What can I say? It's 3 boxes, right? And the amount they overlap is honestly ridiculous. It is always, for me, complete 3 matches as A, B or C, and then the second one is complete 3 matches as A, B or C. And the amount of overlap, like I say, so all I have to do for here, I don't have to do 6 matches, so I can just use Kai for both, and then, you know, a weekly one. What is this? Are you telling me this is the best they can come up with? Use a character. That's crap. Put that menu there as well on the right hand side of the screen. Let me be able to come on. I've just come on the home screen. Oh yeah, I can see my challenges. Boom, I can press play now straight into a game. But no, it's alright because they've clearly spent a little bit more time with this blast pass. They've managed to animate that, and there's more space taken up with this blast pass stuff than there is anything else. which is ludicrous because, yeah, I know most of us got the 3,000 rocket fuel for free, but imagine if you didn't. You've spent 30 quid and then boom, here you go. If you want some of the cool cosmetics, you've got to spend another however many. You know, however much. It's... What? And you look at the difference as well. I know I'm rambling on about this, so, you know, it's whatever, but you look at the difference between this screen and that screen. Which one do you honestly think, in your opinion, they took more time sorting out and making? It certainly ain't this home screen. You know, I'm not a programmer, I'm not a game designer, I'm none of them things. But if I had to sit back and look at this and go, look, how do we really entice players with the opening screen? Oh, yeah, okay, Bob, yeah, just get 5 grey boxes, and yeah, there we go. But then obviously when the Blast Pass comes and you want people to buy it, let's animate everything, let's make it look super cool and colourful and amazing. Yeah, be gone, you know, just get out of here, man. The store, I look at it and it actually makes me want to gouge my own eyes out and then stick them up my ass. This is ludicrous. You come in and the play menu, it's whatever, but could they not have a rotating map screen in the background? Make it a little bit more interesting to look at. And I know you don't spend a lot of time on these screens, so it's whatever. The competitors bit, yeah, I don't mind this. It would be nice to be able to maybe have a closer look at your characters, you know. If I want to choose an outfit, maybe let me just kind of zoom in a bit more, but you can't. But that's fine, you know, that's so minor. The screen is fine. I like how you got your little progress bar to see what you unlock and when. Your totem bit, yeah, it's simple, it's fine. Then you come to this and it's like a completely different game, you know. And this is what I mean. The store is just like the home screen. It's generic grey box. You can't even click to see what it looks like a bit more in depth. You know, it's just filler. It's filler, filler, filler. This Jato the King is probably the best skin I've seen in this store ever. You know, but it's like, oh, let's just fill it with filler and make it look boring. You know, for God's sake. Spend some time making your game look more attractive to people before you bloody release it, man. It's just, it's like my analogy earlier. It's like toast without any toppings on. It's like toast without butter, or, you know, a sandwich without anything in it. It's just dead and dry and boring. Put the news and the challenges on the right hand side of the screen. Get rid of these little animations that frankly no one ever looks at or cares about, and all will be good. I'll actually maybe enjoy looking at these screens instead of coming straight on and going, right, let's get on ranked as quick as I can. But don't even talk to me about the loading times for ranked. It's ridiculous. You can tell I'm getting frustrated because, like I say, I want this game to do well, but it just isn't. Other than the menus as well, I don't... Just the game in general, like I say, I get it's a new IP, it's a new release, it's going to have issues, but it's got so many little issues that, like I say, they bundle up and they make the game a lot less enjoyable. I'm not just going to sit here and moan now. I'm not, you know, it'd be very easy for me to sit here and say, look, this is wrong, this is wrong. I'm not a game developer, and they are doing a great job for 80% of the game. But if they don't seriously buckle up and get some real issues sorted, I don't care about limited time events and skins if I can't actually play the game because of the awful servers. You know, there's no point of enticing me with the coolest skins known to man if your servers work about as well as 2 chopsticks being operated by a cockroach. It's not going to help. You know, if I can't play an actual match, it doesn't matter what content you give me, what new character you give me. You know, it's... I don't know, but like I say, instead of moaning, I'm going to give ideas. What do I think should be done in order to change this game and where it would go from here? So, first of all, I think going fully free-to-play would be the overall census on stuff like Reddit. That's kind of where it needs to go. If it was meant to be free-to-play at the start and now it's not, you've got to give and update everything you can to make it a non-free-to-play game. But they haven't, so make it free to play. The issue with that would then be, how would you pay back your paying customers like me who spent 30 quid? Ultimately, it's, you know, you're never going to get your money back. Especially, you know, 1 month after release they went free to play. A lot of people are going to be mad. I would be mad. You know, if they was then cheeky and said, here you go, have some some rocket fuel, and it's like, well, I've spent 30 quid. I didn't spend it on rocket fuel, so I think there would really have to be some incentive. Maybe even something as small as 3 or 4 legendary skins, that you could only get if you paid for the game initially. I don't care if other people moan, oh, I want that skin, put up with it, we bought the game, so give us some really good skins, give us, maybe a ton, it doesn't even have to be rocket fuel, just give us the rocket coins or whatever they are, give us 100,000 of them. I know it's steep, but, a million, I don't care. If I've spent 30 quid in your game and you're going to go free to play, these are little incentives you want to give people, and they didn't even have to, release it as fully free to play. What they could do is have it a little bit like Smite, or not Smite, Paladins even, where it is free to play, but it's a real grind to unlock new characters, or you can purchase it for 30 quid or whatever and get all the characters. Why not do that? So anyone that joins gets the original 10 characters for free, full use, and they can play every game mode. However, if you want all the upcoming characters, just let people pay for it. I think that'd be a great idea. It's so simple, and it would give people an incentive to pay for it, Then you've obviously got another way I think you can improve the game massively is just sort out your goddamn bugs and your issues. Honestly, there's so many bugs, it's like a bush tucker trial. It's ridiculous. I play a game and I think, why has this happened, or why has that little issue happened? That it just makes it a lot less enjoyable. I will keep coming back to Overwatch because they're very similar in terms of maybe aesthetic and other things, but Overwatch feels amazing to play. They have so many diverse characters and yet somehow fit it within one match. You could have a bunch of people running around, all have different abilities, moves, looks, heights, sizes, whatever, and somehow it works. It just works. But this game, at times it feels like some characters are so ridiculously overpowered. Amphora before the nerf. I actually saw someone on Reddit genuinely try to say, oh, I've never had an issue with Amphora, and I won't point them out, I won't call them out because, that's a bit petty, but they said, I've never had an issue with Amphora, she's easy to kill, and I'm thinking, are we playing against the same Amphoras? Because you must be playing against someone that isn't even moving their controller, because Amphora, before the nerf especially, was so ridiculous to try and kill. I would get down to one hit 50 times in a game, and all of a sudden she's like, no problem for me, mate. I can just, regenerate all my health. It was frustrating as hell. So stuff like that, general hero balancing, needs to be addressed. I'm not going to go over everything that I think needs to be done in this video, because I'll be doing that in another video, because that's going to be another 20 minutes of me talking rubbish. But, and other than that, it's just more content. The game is bare bones, to say the least, which would, again, have been fine if it was free to play. If it was free to play, I would understand slowly drip feeding content, but as it is at the minute, what is that, 8 maps, 10 characters, and that alone isn't too bad, but when you really look at it, the maps are so small, that you could ideally get from one end to another in 5 to 10 seconds. Some characters you can do it in a couple of seconds, which is fine. It really suits this game. But with them being so small, I would maybe expect more variety and more maps. Honestly, there's maybe 4 maps I really enjoy playing, and the rest I come on and I'm like, okay, that's whatever. But they need to add more, and I know there will be in future, but for a game, like I say, that you're paying 30 quid for, if you run into all these issues and bugs and whatever else, are you really going to want to play it? I don't think you are. And that is a big, big issue. That's all I can say. It's a huge issue. And I think a lot of this needs addressing. And that's how I'd go with it. Make it free to play. Make people be able to, if they wouldn't, spend that money to then get more heroes and lock them all at once. I don't care, whatever. But the game at the minute is getting to a point of uninjoyable, I should say, for me. And I know it is a lot of other people. And it's a shame because I wanted to play this game, I'd happily play it till I die. and I'd happily keep releasing content. However, you know, there's just, I don't know, there's just something about the game that's really bothering me at the minute, and it's bothering a lot of other people as well. So I hope somehow this reaches someone that works on the game in any way, shape or form, and they just take maybe one or two of the things I've said, and everyone on Reddit is saying as well, and goes, you know what, yeah, we're going to implement some changes, improve your settings, improve the game. I think with one or two patches, this could be a fantastic game that everyone could play. It seems so simple. So, again, I hope you guys enjoyed. I really do. And if you did enjoy, maybe subscribe, and I'll see you next time. And also let me know in the comments, what do you think of what I've spoke about? If you think I've talked absolute tosh, let me know. I want everyone's opinions. I want to know what you guys think of this game. I'll see you next time. Stay safe.